In the ancient realms of Norse mythology, where gods and giants tread the lands of Midgard and Asgard, there lies a tale of might, fury, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. This is the tale of Thor, the indomitable god of thunder, and his fateful encounter with the colossal Jormungand, the Midgard Serpent. In a time long forgotten, when the world was still young, and the gods held sway over the 9 realms, Thor, the mightiest of the Aesir, a figure of awe and reverence, with fiery red hair and beard, stood as the protector of Asgard and Midgard. His strength was unparalleled, his courage unflinching, and his weapon, the enchanted hammer Mjolnir, was feared by all foes, mortal and divine. Yet, beneath the roiling waves of the great ocean that encircled Midgard, lurked Jormungand, the monstrous offspring of the cunning Loki, and the giantess Angurbida. As vast as the seas themselves, the serpent lay coiled, its massive body encircling the entire world. With scales as dark as the deepest abyss, and eyes glowing like molten gold, Jormungand was a creature of nightmares, a harbinger of doom, waiting for the day of Ragnarok, when it would finally face the gods in battle. Loki, the father of the serpent, a god of mischief and deceit, watched with a cryptic smile as the threads of fate spun around his children. He was a figure of contradictions, his lean form and sharp features a stark contrast to the robust and hardy gods of Asgard. Loki's machinations were many, and his intentions, as ever, were shrouded in mystery. Odin, the All-Father, ruler of Asgard, wise and far-seeing, had long foreseen the coming of Ragnarok, the end of days. With his single piercing eye, he gazed upon the realms, his thoughts heavy with the weight of impending doom. Odin knew that the clash between Thor and Jormungand would be a pivotal moment in the great cycle of the world. In this age of legends, there came a day when Thor, driven by a restless desire for adventure and glory, decided to embark on a perilous journey to prove his might. He sought out the company of the mighty giant Hymir, known for his immense strength and prowess in battle. Together, they set out on a quest to the edge of the world, where the ocean met the sky, and where monsters and giants dwelled. Hymir, with his towering frame and stern countenance, was no stranger to the dangers of the world. He had seen many winters, and fought many battles. Though wary of Thor's impetuous nature, he agreed to join the god on his quest, sensing that the threads of fate were weaving a tale of great significance. Their journey took them through realms, both wondrous and perilous. They traversed forests where trees touched the heavens, and valleys shrouded in perpetual twilight. They scaled mountains that pierced the clouds, and crossed rivers that flowed with the power of the cosmos. As Thor and Hymir ventured farther from the familiar lands of Asgard, the air grew colder and the seas more tumultuous. The skies above them churned with dark clouds, under which the vast ocean stretched, endless and foreboding. It was here, in these uncharted waters, that Thor planned to undertake a feat so daring that it would be remembered for ages to come. Thor revealed his audacious plan to Hymir to catch the Midgard Serpent, the very embodiment of the world's end. Hymir, though brave and bold, felt a shiver run down his spine. The thought of confronting such a beast was enough to unsettle even the sturdiest of hearts. Yet, he saw the determination burning in Thor's eyes, and knew there was no turning back. They prepared their gear, with Hymir providing a sturdy boat and oars. Thor, however, sought a bait grand enough to lure the colossal serpent. With his godly strength, he captured a mighty ox from a nearby island, its eyes wide with fear, sensing the grave fate that awaited it. As they set sail into the heart of the ocean, the world around them grew eerily calm. The waves gently lapped against the sides of their boat, a stark contrast to the storm that raged within Thor's heart. He knew that this battle would be unlike any he had faced before. Hours passed, and the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting an orange glow over the vast expanse of water. Thor, with a resolve as strong as the mountains of Jotunheim, cast his line into the depths, the ox head sinking slowly into the dark waters. The weight was agonizing. The ocean, usually a cacophony of sounds, was silent, as if holding its breath for what was to come. Thor watched with growing apprehension, his eyes scanning the endless waters, knowing that beneath their boat lurked dangers beyond their wildest imaginings. Then, without warning, the ocean erupted. The water boiled and frothed as Jormungand, the Midgard Serpent, took the bait. Its massive head broke the surface, eyes blazing with ancient fury, its jaws clamping down on the ox head. The world seemed to shake at the very sight of the beast, its body coiling and thrashing in the water, creating waves that threatened to swallow the boat whole. Thor stood unflinching, his hands gripping the fishing line with godly might. The struggle was monumental, a clash of titanic forces. As the god of thunder battled to pull the serpent from the depths, the line strained under the immense weight, but Thor's resolve did not waver. Jormungand, the world-encircling serpent, fought with the wrath of the oceans, its body churning the waters into a frenzy. It seemed as if the very fabric of the world was tearing apart. The boundary between sea and sky blurred in the chaos. Hymir, witnessing the battle, felt both awe and terror. Never before had he seen such a display of raw power. The might of a god pitted against one of the greatest creatures of the realms. The boat rocked violently, water spilling over the sides. But Thor remained steadfast, his eyes locked with those of the serpent. In the midst of this cosmic struggle, the skies themselves seemed to rage, echoing the fury of the battle below. Lightning streaked across the heavens, illuminating the scene in flashes of brilliant white, as if the gods themselves were bearing witness to this monumental clash. Thor's muscles bulged under the strain, veins standing out like cords on his mighty arms. He summoned all his divine strength, calling upon the power of the storms and the fury of the thunder. With a roar that echoed across the realms, he pulled at the line, bringing Jormungand inch by inch closer to the boat. The serpent, sensing its peril, unleashed its full wrath upon the god of thunder. It thrashed and twisted, its massive body creating whirlpools that threatened to drag the boat down into the abyss. Its eyes, like pools of molten lava, glared at Thor with a hatred as old as the world itself. Hymir, though a giant of great strength, felt like a mere spectator in the face of such a battle. He knew that this was a moment that would shape the fate of the worlds, a prelude to the great Ragnarok that had been foretold. The giant held the boat steady, fighting against the surging waves, his eyes never leaving the figures of Thor and the serpent. As the struggle reached its peak, Thor's grip on Mjolnir tightened. The enchanted hammer, unyielding and mighty, seemed to pulse with anticipation. Thor knew that this battle was more than a test of strength. It was a battle of wills, a fight against the inevitable forces of destiny. With a thunderous bellow, Thor exerted his final, Herculean effort, pulling Jormungand so close that its foul breath filled the air, its fangs dripping with venom. The serpent reared its massive head, preparing to strike at the god, to unleash its deadly poison. But at that very moment, Hymir, overcome by fear for his own life and the safety of the realms, cut the fishing line. The serpent, released from Thor's grasp, plunged back into the depths of the ocean, disappearing beneath the waves, leaving behind a churning maelstrom. Thor, enraged by the loss of his quarry and the interruption of his glorious battle, turned his fury upon Hymir. The giant, realizing his folly, could only bow his head in shame. knowing that he had thwarted a deed that would have been sung about for ages. The sea calmed, the storm abated, and a heavy silence fell over the world. Thor and Hymir, their journey at an end, returned to Asgard, the echoes of their encounter with the Midgard Serpent resonating through the halls of the gods. In Asgard, the tale of Thor's battle with Jormungand was received with awe and wonder. Odin, the All-Father, listened with a solemn expression, for he knew that this was but a prelude to the greater battles that lay ahead. Loki, ever enigmatic, watched with a smile that held secrets only he knew. The tale of Thor and the Midgard Serpent became a legend, a story told and retold through the ages, a reminder of the eternal struggle between order and chaos, between the gods and the forces that sought to undo the world. And though Thor had not vanquished Jormungand on that fateful day, the prophecy of Ragnarok lingered in the minds of all, a foretelling of the final battle that would decide the fate of the gods and the world. Thanks for checking out this video. If you had fun watching it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. You're awesome!